So what did Reggie say to you?
He said, "I'm eating."
Did he?
He did. He was with this chick in Newport Beach, and then my wife came over, and she doesn't really wear bras often. She wears those low cut T-shirts. You know, you fucking had breakfast with my wife, and she leaned over the table and said, "I'm a really huge fan of yours, Mr. Jackson." And he goes, "Is that right?" Like real lascivious and great, and like he just fucking tossed his chick under the bus. It was great. And then we talked for like 10 minutes because my wife just kept her fucking tits right next to his face.
That's great. And he said, "I'm eating it first?"
He said, "I'm eating, man." And he's very white.
But Reggie is a really weird. I met him once. It's serious.
I've never met anyone that likes him. Ever.
I got him to sign a ball, to me, of course, and I got a picture with him. He wasn't warm, but he was doing his radio show, and I was telling him, like, yeah, I'll Twitter it. I think I had 30,000 followers at the time. He's like, "Oh, okay, thanks, man." Like, he was okay to me because of that, but I could see where he's not. Fuck the Yankees. You know, I loved them, but none of them have ever been nice to me, except for Giambi. None of them have been nice.
Did you have a problem with Jeter?
A big problem with Jeter.
I have a fucking huge problem with Jeter.
What was your problem with him?
My Billy Hayes and Billy Mack, who the cop Billy Mack, our buddy, who does fucking security for the Yankees, is out to dinner with Derek Jeter, and Billy Hayes is with him, whose roommate is Mike Torre. Joe Torre's son, as he's managing the fucking Yankees. So I got that fucking two-pronged attack. Hey, JJ's birthday's coming up. You know Jay Mohr? And he's like, "Yeah. Hey, could you do us a favor? Just sign this to him." And fucking, he told those two guys no. And they're like, "No, seriously." And do you know his wife? You know, maybe? And he's like, "Oh yeah, from Las Vegas." And if you could just write, and like, how about this? Billy Mack goes, "How about this? I write a fucking happy birthday. You just put your fucking name under what I write. Nobody's gonna fucking," he's not, he throws me under he's not gonna know. He's a fucking idiot. You just put your name, he'll think you wrote happy. And Jeter just flatly said, "No, absolutely not." And they were like, no one to this day can figure out, like, what the fuck was the problem?
He's a twat. I'll tell you what.
Fuck you, Jeter, you twat.
He
you
just
3,000 hit prick.
I got it. I know.
You fucking dummy, sign it. Probably doesn't even know how to spell his own name.
I got a picture with him. He's
half white. That's the white half. He's from Michigan. What does he know? He should have went to Ohio State like the real athletes. Nick Mangold, he'll sign anything. That's why he's center. He's always looking down at the commissioner's signature on the football, for crying out loud. Laces up, right, boss? You got it. Jesus. I guess I know what fucking voice I'm going to do the live read in.
That makes me laugh.
So what was your Jeter thing?
I got a picture with him in Vegas. He was doing an XM event. And I went to a $25,000 table, which XM paid for dinner like a year later.
Oh, my God. That's more than the president.
Yeah. It was a big charity thing. He does a charity thing. So I asked him to sign the picture of me and him 3 times. Like, no, man, I'm busy. He was just a cocksucker. But believe me, I went on New York radio and blasted him. So he knows I'm not happy. He has no idea who I am, but he knows some asshole comic has been gunning for him since fucking 2005.
Well, here's
He's
two
just
of
a
them.
douche.
You're a douche, Derek Jeter.
He wasn't a nice guy. And I saw him, like, taking photos with girls and stuff, which I get that. But it's like, dude, it's a picture of me and you. Who am I going to sell it to?
Right.
He was just I think he just gets in a mood where he doesn't want to sign shit. He's just a cocksucker.
Well, apparently it's a 10-year mood.
So he knew who you were and wouldn't sign it?
And Joe Torre's son asked him. His manager's son and the guy doing security for that night at, I guess it's the ESPN, the Zone, Billy Mack did security there, and that's where they were. So those two guys, fuck him.
And he said no.
Nomar told me Nomar would go to the park and sign forever, and then afterwards he would sign forever. And out in the street, out in like in Boston, it's like the biggest small town in the world.
Right.
You can't escape it. He said the only time he wouldn't sign, I thought this was interesting, was from the bus to the hotel. Like when the bus parks in front of the hotel and all those people are lined up. And that was just the time that he needed to go, this is fucking for me. Give me from here to the elevator. Right. And I said, but those people waited in line. He said, I don't care. And I said, well, why don't, and he really fucking started yelling at me at one point, like, I fucking sign all day. Are you kidding me?
Right.
I can't have a walk to an elevator where I could just zone out.
Right.
So I guess
you have to. Athletes get hit with a lot of shit, and I understand that. But it wasn't like I was saying, hey, just sign this ball, just put your name on it. It was like something that was of me and him. It was like, he was just being a prick.
At an event.
Yeah, at an event. He was a douche.
What was the name of the event? Do you remember?
No, look, he was doing charity work. It's funny. I was standing there trying to get a picture signed that he's doing charity work, and I'm calling him a prick. He's giving millions of dollars to people.
What better charity than Little Jimmy?
Please, from your lips to God's ears, Jay.
You want to talk to him? You talk to him. He'll kill me. We were on everything. Uppers, screamers, blues, yellows. And I told him, you're killing everyone around you, Leon.
Yeah, you're not dying, Derek. You're killing everyone around you.
Yeah, Derek. Fuck, he was. You're not dying, Derek. You're killing everyone around you. Yeah. Save your tweets from Dog Day Afternoon. Here's my favorite charity story that ever happened to me. My wife and I don't know how, we're at Garth Brooks' charity event for abused and molested children in Las Vegas. And this piece of Samsonite's charity is called Touch 'Em All.
Wow.
And it's a baseball. Have I ever told the story? It's a baseball theme, and like Touch 'Em All like a home run.
Right.
It's like, but Garth, you don't play baseball. You're a country western.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be like twang, six strings of hope.
Yeah.
This guy for fucking kids, and there's it's a rainbow of fucking awful. There's like molested kids, beaten kids, foster kids, Pageria, that fucking Pageria guy that Anthony. I'm like any other kid. I sit around, play checkers, age. Fucking, I remember Anthony going on that run. I have the funniest thing you ever said in my pocket right here on XM, Opie and Anthony Satellite Radio. All right. I'll get to that in a minute. So he is on stage, and this fucking Pageria kid, there's like the one famous Pageria kid where he's always on like Mohr, and Mohr's like, you know what? You're a handsomest guy as I've, like, no, he's not.
Yeah.
Just go, hey man, like, you got a shitty hand by life, and you sure look like a fucking old wrinkled prune guy.
Yeah.
But don't fucking tell him like, or like when they have like the Siamese twin girls joined at the fucking head.
Pretty.
You two are beautiful, and I think my audience agrees, you fucking idiots.
It's
no, they're not.
Because then they go out thinking they're pretty, and they have fucking tomatoes thrown at them as they should.
I love fucking tomato references. Rotten tomato. Boo! People just boo.
Just,
when you leave your house.
Just like a 1920s open mic. There was no mercy.
Boo!
Fucking boo, you're terrible. Some 300-pound guy in a suit.
Yeah. Some guy with a fucking monocle and a pocket watch throws a head of cabbage at you, and it rolls around your feet, and you gotta keep the show moving. Like, as I was saying.
Yeah, you gotta keep it clean if you hit him back.
What's going on with President Polk?
Where'd you learn to pitch, fella? And you gotta plow right back to your awfulness.
Hey, I see a monocle. I think maybe someone's wearing it over the wrong eye. I saw your dame. Maybe you need two.
Yeah, nice Eddie Cantor joke, something.
Boy, this Gershwin. I don't know what's with these Jews writing all the music these days. So yeah, it's called Touch 'Em All. And me and my wife were like brand new, and I start playing with her under the table. With my Manny digits.
Sure.
And she starts to really, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm so glad I'm telling you this story, because you know all parties involved. And you and my wife had a nice sensitive time at breakfast.
Yes. That was right after my Opie fight, I think.
Yeah. So I'm down there, and she's like, oh, okay. Like, she doesn't give a fuck. She's down for anything. And she's literally like marching towards it, the big one. And then on stage, Garth Brooks brings the fucking Pageria kid out, and they play catch on stage, like with a mitt. And Garth goes, isn't he amazing? And the place applauds, and my wife is like heaving, like she's kind of fucking, like her eyes are a little glassy, like you might think she's passing out, or maybe she's just shit-faced, but she's about to fucking really crank one out. A big one. Like, she made me work it. So, then Garth goes, no, come on! Like, he's fucking going nuts. And the place, like, over in the corner, like, standing in the front, standing off to the side, and my wife's like, right there, and then fucking someone at our table stands up, and two other people. It's like a table of 8 or 10. So we literally be the only people not standing up. So she just looks at me and goes, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And she stands up, and we're clapping for this fucking monster. And then we sit back down, and everyone is calm. And I'm just still fired up, because I got the whole night ahead of me with this gal. And then my wife just looks at me and goes, that little fucker owes me an orgasm. She was so mad. And to this day, he like anything Pageria, she goes, oh, that fuck.
Squash him like an insect.
The funniest thing, we were driving home, and I said, we both agreed, the funniest thing we think you've ever, and you probably don't even remember it. Opie and Anthony were playing when Siskel and Ebert fucking hated each other, which was always.
Oh, wow.
and there was like lost tapes of them. It was like outtakes. Do you remember this at all? Really? It was Siskel and Ebert. Like they couldn't even shoot the show because Siskel was making fun of Ebert's weight, and Ebert was making fun. He goes,
"Wow,
yeah. Is there any lunch? Yeah. Why don't you bring him all of it? You know, if there's one thing about Roger, he can't get enough of food." And like laughing way too hard, throwing jokes, going back and forth, and somehow they got stuck on a run of when they go to Burger King, and they're like, "You don't remember any of this?"
No.
God, you do. You know, I just realized you do fucking 4 hours every day.
Yeah.
How could you? And you go, and they're like, yeah. When Roger, and both of them are way too excited to get like 3 crew guys laughing. Like when Roger goes up to their counter, he just says, "Yes, I'll have all of it." Yeah. And then Ebert's like, when Gene goes up, everybody falls asleep because he's so fucking boring when he gets his burger, and they just keep going and going, and then everyone's hysterical in the studio, and then finally everybody calms down, and you said, and I quote, "That's a long burger run, these couple of fucking hacks." We almost fucking, you don't remember.
I have no memory of it.
You go, "That's a long burger run you put together, you couple of fucking," like you said, like they were sitting in front of you. You were so disgusted at how bad they were, and everybody else in the room was laughing at their hatred for each other. And then when it was all said and done and the dust settled, you were the voice of reason that went, ugh.
No memory of it, man.
Classic Jimmy. Ugh. Well, that was a good burger run, you couple of fucking hacks.
I have no memory of it. I don't remember so much. Like, I'll go on. The only bits I listen to that I've done that make me laugh is like Uncle Paul or occasionally Chip. Those actually, I can listen to them detached. Or an occasional Ted bit where it's not my voice, so I can kind of enjoy it, like for the show. But I don't listen to it at all, man. I can't. It's like even when I'm not there, I don't know what happens. Literally, they could both be fucking dead by the time I get back Monday. I'd never know it.
I think Opie and Anthony, it seems like they both listen to the show like on the way home.
Ant will listen to, I think, because Ant drives. Ope will pick it up. Like, he doesn't listen when he's not in, I don't think. But he'll pick it up here and there. I think Ope will do it more as a radio guy to hear the channel, hear how like he's listening for other shit too. Like, he'll listen on the weekends, see how this show flows with that show. Like, he's
Opie.
Yeah, he does.
It's Opie and Anthony. He's the captain of the ship.
I don't,
if Opie ain't happy, nobody's happy.
That's true.
He's the man.
That's not true, because a lot of times he's not happy and we're like, whatever. And same thing with Ant. Ant was Ant will get on his crazy runs or I'll come into one of my fucking horrible moods and those guys will just talk until I'm out of it, It's weird with 3 people. Like, cause if one of us is cranky or cunty, which always happens, the other 2 can just kind of keep going. You know what I mean?
There seems to be certain things that one of you will talk about, or 2 of you will talk about, that makes the third guy tap out. Like Anthony going on politics, you both just fucking he'll just go on, he'll turn into a soliloquy or a monologue or tap out. And I think Opie was doing faux anger and disgust when you guys were fucking throwing babies in the fucking, when Scott Peterson was throwing the baby in the fucking the San Francisco Bay.
It's one of the hardest Anthony's ever made me laugh. Was during that bit we were talking about, there was a guy named Marky. They were doing poems to Connor Peterson and about Lacey. We had a bunch of poems. And one of them, I forget what it was, but he was saying that like Connor's walking around with, Did I just give it away? I said, what did I say? Connor Peterson, what did I say?
He said Connor's walking around.
Yeah, it was something about...
I don't think you tipped it.
About how he handed...
Jimmy's like, did I fuck up the joke?
No, because I don't
remember the fucking kid that got tossed in the ocean?
The guy was doing like poems about it, and he goes...
But the guy was for real.
Oh, God, he was dead serious.
That's what makes it amazing.
And he was writing a poem about Connor giving flowers to Lacey, and he goes, Mama, tea's for you. And Anthony said it's a bouquet of seaweed. And it's just... it's one of the hardest... Anybody
and was that when Opie was like, come on, you guys, stop it. And then you just keep, it's like, what better way to get pests is what the Opie and Anthony fans are called. What better way to get pests? And for those of you aspiring DJs out there, if you want your phone banks full, just say, please don't call with any more Connor poems. And watch, you'll be 9 deep.
It was fucking...
Which in Jimmy's world means something different.
I think, well, lovely lady.
Hot lunch.
No, we, dude, it was,
Mama, this for you.
Mama,
oh, it was a song.
Yeah, Mama, this for you.
And it was like, and he did like a weird Korean voice for the kid. I remember that vividly.
Anthony Chan.
Wasn't it a song?
Yeah, it might have been. A bouquet of seaweed. Wow. I've had some really amazing laughs in that show. It makes me...
How did it go from you being a guest on the show to you being third mic permanently?
Apparently they weren't getting along, and I didn't know this. This is how imperceptive I am.
And he's very, white.
But Reggie is a really weird... I met him once. It's serious.
I've never met anyone that likes him. Ever.
I got him to sign a ball, to me, of course, and I got a picture with him. He wasn't warm, but he was doing his radio show, and I was telling him, yeah, I'll Twitter it. I think I had 30,000 followers at the time. He's like, oh, okay, thanks, man. He was not he was okay to me because of that, but I could see where he's not. Fuck the Yankees. I loved them, but none of them have ever been nice to me, except for Giambi. None of them have been nice.
Did you have a problem with Jeter?
A big problem with Jeter.
I have a fucking huge problem with Jeter.
What was your problem with him?
My Billy Hayes and Billy Mack, who the cop Billy Mack, our buddy, who does fucking security for the Yankees, is out to dinner with Derek Jeter, and Billy Hayes is with him, whose roommate is Mike Torre, Joe Torre's son, as he's managing the fucking Yankees. So I got that fucking two-pronged attack.
Sure.
Hey, JJ's birthday's coming up. You know Jay Mohr? And he's like, yeah. Hey, could you do us a favor? Just sign this to him. And fucking he told those two guys no. So
what did Reggie say to you?
He said, I'm eating.
Did he?
He did. He was with this chick in Newport Beach. And then my wife came over and, she doesn't really wear bras often. She wears those low-cut T-shirts. You know, you've fucking had breakfast with my wife.
Yeah.
And she leaned over the table and said, I'm a really huge fan of yours, Mr. Jackson. And he goes, is that right? Real lascivious and great. And he just fucking tossed his chick under the bus.
Yeah.
It was great. And then we talked for 10 minutes because my wife just kept her fucking tits right next to his face.
That's great. And he said, I'm eating it first?
He said, I'm eating it.
And dummy, sign it. Probably doesn't even know how to spell his own name.
I got a picture
he's
with
half
him.
white. That's the white half. He's from Michigan. What does he know? He should have went to Ohio State like the real athletes. Nick Mangold. He'll sign anything. That's why he's center. He's always looking down at the commissioner's signature on the football for crying out loud. Laces up, right, boss? You got it.
Jesus. I guess I know what fucking voice I'm going to do the live read-in.
That makes me laugh.
So what was your Jeter thing?
I got a picture with him in Vegas. He was doing an XM event. And
they're like, no, seriously. And do you know his wife? Maybe? And he's like, oh yeah, from Las Vegas. And if you could just write, how about this? Billy Mack goes, how about this? I write a fucking happy birthday. You just put your fucking name under what I write. Nobody's gonna he's not, he throws me under he's not gonna know. He's a fucking idiot. You just put your name. He'll think you wrote happy. And Jeter just flatly said, no, absolutely not. And they were no one to this day can figure out what the fuck was the problem.
He's a twat. I'll tell you what.
Fuck you, Jeter, you twat.
He
you
just
3,000 hit prick.
I know. I fucking